Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel again. Today, let's explore the updated version of Google Notebook LM, the very powerful AI tool that can help us to summarize documentation, summarize YouTube video, and so on. So this is a quick overview. If you have any additional question, feel free to leave in the comment and we can explore together. So basically, to access this tool, you just type in the notebook lm.google, this URL, and you are going to go to this page. Usually, you need to have the Google account so you can log in directly. And once you click Try Notebook LM, you're going to go to the main page. So in this page, you are going to see the notebook that you have created, and also you can create a new notebook. Once you click the Create a New, you are going to have different choices. You can upload the file. You can just drag and drop your files in this window, or you can specify it's a Google Doc, Google Slides, websites, YouTube, or copy text. You have different options. And I'm going to show you some of the results I just got. The first one is that I upload different PDF as resource. It will immediately jump into this page. It will show a brief summary or what the docs are saying. And you have different options. You can click audio overview. It will start generating the audio, as you can see here, generating conversation. It will generate a two-person podcast to discuss about the documentation and topics. And also, you can try the brief documentation. It will create a note here that is going to introduce you about the documentations included in your resources. And of course, you can also try their study guide, frequently asked question, timeline, and so on. So basically, it's like a helper for you to learn the subject or the content that you specified. And as you can see here, this is a note just created, so it just summarize the key points here. It's like a quick go through of the documentation. These documentations are actually created by ChatGPT because I have some of the topics that I want to explore. I ask ChatGPT to create such documentation PDF for me to do a test here. Of course, you can try different PDF. You can try paper, you can try your own resources. But the reason I'm now using a synthetic documentation to test it is that before you process such documentation, you need to understand if it is allowed or if it is suitable for you to perform such actions. Because in different countries, maybe the regulations are different. So I'm not going to use some copyrighted PDF and so on. So this is a synthetic PDF summarization example. So you can also go back to the studio and let's try frequently asked a question. It will start to generate a new note. And of course, you can also ask a question here. All the actions are able to go on or process simultaneously. You do not need to wait for one task to complete and you go to the next. You can always ask a question here and also let it process. Like you are seeing here, it is generating the conversation and you already have some notes generated at the same time. So let's try. Explain the linear predictor. Okay, it's one of the subject of the machine learning. So basically, this tool is going to answer your question based on the resources or documentations you provided. So it actually gets this answer. Of course, it fetches all the information from the documentation, and you can see it also cited different documentation. Like this is a linear predictor introduction PDF. And the second one, yeah, it's still that's the documentation. Okay, this sequence number just to highlight. Let me see. Yeah, just to highlight the citations. Okay. And if you want to save the current conversation to a note, you just save to note. This one only saved uh, the starting summarization to the note. But for this one, for the conversation down here, you can save to note. Yeah, then you are going to have the current conversation saved to note. Okay, another important feature here is that you can also convert the notes to the resource. So basically, for example, like this one, we just generated with the model in the conversation. We can convert it to resource, and you can see it will be added to the resource list. And once we click it, yeah, we're going to see the whole text and some suggestions here. Okay, there are some summaries here. Okay, and of course, I have also some manual notes that I want to write. For example, here I will say linear regression, a supervised learning predictor, numerical prediction. I can just see if it is saved in regression. Okay, I converted it to source. Okay, and see here, yeah, in the end, this is the documentation that I added. Okay, so now we can see here there is a summary, and also this is my original text. So once you add it to the resource, to the sources, and you can incorporate incorporate it into your source resource list. So you can ask what is linear regression. Let's see if the system will recognize this new note as a resource, so it will cite also this new doc. Yeah, let's see. Okay, I think most of the citations are made from the other PDF, not the new note, which means it probably there is a relevance matching mechanism in the backend. So if my doc is less relevant or oversimplified, maybe it is not utilized. Okay, so you can try to ask many different questions here, and you can see here is a podcast already generated. Yeah, and you can listen to it. Yeah, so now let's try the new feature of the interactive mode of audio overview. So basically now we have the podcast already created. We can go to the interactive mode. Okay, of course you need to allow um, the permission to utilize your microphone and your sound. Um, and we can just play it. And whenever we want to interrupt, we just join. Okay. Yeah. So I want to know more about linear regression. Okay, I'm not sure if you can listen to it because this is happening in a different device. But the idea is that now you can interrupt the conversation anytime you want, and the host will get back to you to give you the answers you need. Okay, so it's quite interesting. You can try it. Okay, so basically at this moment we have tried the different new features. Okay, regarding the local documentation processing. So basically, first of all, you add all your local resources, the documentations, to the resource list. Then you get a quick summary here, and you can start to ask questions. You can add the summary and also your Q&A process, okay, the different information to create a new note. And these notes are going to be shown on the right hand side. Besides, you can also use some built-in function like frequently asked question, briefing documentation, and also timeline. Okay, once you click timeline, you are also going to see a new note. All these notes are for your reference, and whenever you feel that's necessary, you can convert such notes to your resource list. So it's like you are going to rag again on the resource that you just created here. This is the use case of summarizing, processing the local documentation. Um, Intuitively, I would think that it's useful for us to learn different documentation, get a quick summary, and it will significantly reduce the hallucination. But there are some issues I noticed recently I would like you to pay attention. First of all, if we are talking about only the textual information summarization and so on, you get a response which most likely you are going to get a reasonable response, but you still need to read through because all the contents are not guaranteed to be 100% accurate. As you can see here in the bottom line, notebook LM can be inaccurate. Okay, please double check the responses. The second thing is that if you have LaTeX, you have the different formulas in the documentation. Sometimes it make mistake, especially about the notations under the math symbol or over the math symbol. There are different ways that it may get the answer wrong. So always pay attention. The other point is about the podcast. Now, just generally speaking, if you have more than two documentations over 2,000 words, the podcast will generate the audio more or less like 15 to 19 minutes. As you can see here, we have a lot of documents, but it will cap at 20 minutes. And it will break into sections. It's like you have one episode to discuss the informations here, then it'll stop, take a break, and then continue. So I met all the cases like one episode, two episodes, three episodes, all inside one audio file. It is useful for you to have somebody to discuss with you to help you um, transform this information to audio, but it will not go too deep. For example, whenever it meets some of the concepts of math, especially, it will stop. It will say, okay, now we do not go too deep to that point. We just get some intuitions from the discussion, okay, from the materials, okay, which is, I would say, a prudent way that it will not uh, go to the very technical area which requires very specific background knowledge to interpret. Okay, this may uh, have some advantage, like not to misguide you too much, especially about very professional and very rigorous theories and so on. So, uh, whenever you listen to it, I mean, it is a good tool that if you are studying alone, you have something to listen to, but always pay attention that it still may oversimplify some of the details, and it will break into sections. And the more documentation you put in the resource, like now, I think that limitation of the resource list is about 50 items. When you reach to that point, it will of course omit some of the details for sure because the longer the context window, uh, the more it will pick a different partial information to produce this audio file. Okay, so just use them with caution. And of course, you can click here and download this audio file, and also you can share. Okay, you can also give a comment, a good discussion or bad discussion, and so on. Okay, so this one we have already tried about the local documentation. Then we can also try some websites. For example, this one is the website. This website from the European Central Bank is about macroeconomic projection. Okay, is very well organized textual information. And you just input the URL. You are going to get the resource immediately, and you are going to get the summary. Okay, then you can do the same thing as we did with local files. So you can try it. It is very useful. For example, when you do not want to go over such long text, okay, you just ask some questions. It will give you citations, and you can check the citations back to check if it's valid or not. It's very useful, right? It's not like we let the models to do their job and hallucinate as they want. Okay, at least we have some grounding truth to bound our um, responses. The other case is about YouTube video, right? Like this one, I just go here and choose this podcast of Google DeepMind, the ethics of AI assistants. Okay, so I just copy this URL and immediately I have this resource here. Okay, and it will give me a summary and so on. And you can go on with other question answering, summarization task you want. And of course, in the future, you can also try to add different resources. Okay, so a mixture of the Google Drive documentation, links of website, of YouTube, copy text, and also the PDF, TXT, Markdown, audio. You can just merge everything together. Okay, it's I would say it's very useful that now you have the flexibility to incorporate all the resources you want for you to learn to get insights. But still, if you want to better use this tool, you need to have a mindset of trade-off. So if you let the model to summarize for you, it will pick the information according to the algorithm, okay, according to its methodology to pick up the key information. But if you use a more rigorous prompt, like you want to summarize in which way, which is the format, of course you are going to input in the question answering window so you can get the response. And of course, whenever you have more information, the response you are going to get are more general, right? Like the summary, like the audio will be more generalized. But whenever you want to put just two or three docs, two or three resources, and the textual information, the context is not too big, you are going to get more precise and more detailed discussion and summary. And of course, this is a mixture of techniques for you to use AI, right? Okay. So just try in your use case, and if you have any question, feel free to let me know so we can also explore together. I wish you like this video. If you like my video, please feel free to share it, like it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. In 2025, I wish to explore more AI tools with you, and let's better utilize these tools to make sure that our use cases are well solved. Okay. See you next time. Bye bye.